watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout outs to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Hola, habla Cindy, está viendo Deportes TV.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So I want to discuss something that's really amusing at this point. So Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn have now done an interview, and they're claiming that now they're going to sign the, AJ wants to sign the contract. He doesn't want to look like he was making up excuses now. Not to mention, Eddie Hearn is saying that Anthony Joshua is now going to come to the States to promote the fight, to sign to show that he signed the contract with Deontay Wilder because it's good PR. Hopefully, in order to hopefully get Deontay Wilder and his team to stop messing around and sign the contract on there and show that they're not messing around, that this is not a stunt, that they really do want to fight at this point, right? You can check this article out on World Boxing News 24. This saga just gets more and more comical, right? So here's a few things they had to say. Anthony Joshua will sign the contract for a potential fight with Deontay Wilder at Wembley on April 13th, says his promoter Eddie Hearn. Wow. Hearn remains hopeful that Wilder will be in the opposite corner on that date, and revealed that Joshua will actually sign the contract now in a bid to kickstart negotiations against the WBC champion. I'm pretty confident, Hearn told Sky Sports. I think at the moment he's Wilder, in parentheses, throwing his toys out of the pram, and eventually we hope he'll come to his senses. So basically saying that he believes that Deontay Wilder is throwing a fit, is having a hissy fit, you know, like a kid, right? Anthony Joshua says, let's sign the contract and put in front of them, rather than them thinking that we're bluffing for some bizarre reason or we don't want the fight. Hearn says, I spoke to Anthony Joshua yesterday. I think that we're going to do this. I think that we're going to do that. What we're going to do is all the terms that were agreed by Deontay Wilder have now been put into contract. They've had them for over a month now, and they haven't done anything. So I think that we're going to go and sign the contract. Anthony Joshua says, let's sign the contract, put in front of them, rather than let them think that we're bluffing or bizarre, or some bizarre reason, or we don't want the fight again. This is amazing. At this point, if you don't understand that they never wanted to fight with Deontay Wilder next, that it was all a stunt to begin with, the contradictions and the lies at this point are just pure comical. Now Anthony Joshua has some things to say. Now Anthony Joshua doesn't mind coming to the States to do press conferences. But didn't Anthony Joshua said he doesn't want to do worldwide press tours? He don't want to come to the States doing city-to-city press tours and all of these things ahead of a fight because it's a distraction. He doesn't want to break training camp, correct? Well, ladies and gentlemen, today is July 11th. He's set to fight. In this article, he says that Alexander Povetkin is looking like the fight is going to be September 22nd, right? Eddie Hearn said he would not let Anthony Joshua fight Deontay Wilder on an 8-week training camp, right? Eddie Hearn also said that Alexander Povetkin is a very, very dangerous opponent, as well as Deontay Wilder is a very, very dangerous opponent. He said that they were pretty much equal, right? But if Anthony Joshua said, and so Anthony Joshua said he didn't want to break training camp to be going and doing all these press tours because the states do all these stunts and have all these tricks up their sleeve to distract you. And I'm paraphrasing, right? So now, this is July 11th today. So that would give him about 9-week training camp at this moment, right? Or unless he was already in training camp for Alexander Povetkin, and they already previously knew that they were going to fight Alexander Povetkin. Because guess what? You can't be in training camp for Alexander Povetkin and Deontay Wilder because they're two different styles. Alexander Povetkin is about 6'3". Deontay Wilder is 6'7". It's two different styles, so you're not going to be in training camp preparing for either or. Because if you're in training camp, you're saying that you need more than an 8-week training camp. So if you're thinking that you might have fought Deontay Wilder, then you had to be preparing for a fighter of his caliber. And if you knew that you was going to fight Alexander Povetkin, then you had to be preparing for a fighter of Alexander Povetkin caliber and stature. Correct? So that would give you about 9 weeks for Alexander Povetkin. Because if Alexander Povetkin is the same risk as Deontay Wilder, then why would you want Alexander Povetkin, Anthony Joshua, to only have an 8-week training camp for Alexander Povetkin? And you fear that this is a very, very dangerous fight, according to Eddie Hearn, that he told Anthony Joshua he shouldn't even take the fight with Alexander Povetkin with Deontay Wilder fight, such a big fight, money fight, looming. This is a massive risk. Correct? So, ladies and gentlemen, we knew this just continues to shine the light on what we already knew, right? At this point, we're doing our due diligence to shine light on the situation, on these contradictions, these lies, and the nonsense. He also says Anthony's going to have a press conference for his next fight next week, and he'll be in America as well. And it will be good to go out there and say what we've done. It will be good to go out there and say that we've done all we can. You've agreed to these terms. We've now even signed the contract. So fingers crossed, April 13th, Wembley will be Joshua against Wilder. Listen to what he said. You've agreed these terms. We've now signed the contract. So why didn't you sign the contract on June 25th, June 26th, and just wait for Deontay Wilder's signature? Why are you just now signing the contract? Let's say he's saying we now signed the contract, so we can't say exactly when Anthony Joshua signed the contract, but let's say he signed the contract yesterday, July 10th. Well, guess what? June 25th, let's say, because June 26th is when the WBA handed down the 24-hour mandatory, right? The 24-hour stipulation, right? So the WBA put their foot down on the 26th. So you had the contract. Why didn't you sign the contract on the 25th and just wait for Wilder to send the contract back to you and just tell the WBA, listen, we've already signed our part. Now we're just waiting for Wilder to sign his part, and we're going to fight Deontay Wilder. Because on the 29th, you would have had the contract back, because Shelly Finkel said that the two stipulations in the contract that they were worried about, they were going to go over and have the contract signed, sealed, and delivered back to you on Friday. So if you would have signed the contract on the 25th, then wait for the contract to come back on the 29th, then why are we having this conversation? Because nothing changed in the negotiations. Nothing changed in the contract, I'm assuming. Because you're saying that you've now signed the contract. So what changed that you signed the contract, let's say yesterday? Maybe let's say last week. I don't know. Maybe this morning he signed the contract. But let's just say he signed the contract for shit's sake. Let's say he signed it yesterday. Well, why didn't you sign it on the 25th? So what changed in the contract that you were willing to sign the contract now? And why is Anthony Joshua willing to go and save face now and say that, oh, I'm going to tell you why he's willing to go and save face. Because he's going to be in the limelight now with the Alexander Povetkin fight. See, it was one thing to hide and stay in the shadows while everything was going on with Deontay Wilder, because he had nothing going on as of yet. But now he has to do press conferences. He has to do media workouts. He has to do things. He has to be in the media now because he has a fight coming up in September. So now he must save face at this point in time because the questions are going to come. The heat is going to come. He can't hide in the shadows anymore because what is he going to do? Not show up, not see. Nobody's going to see Anthony Joshua. There's no media members going to get an interview. There's no cameras going to be in his face until September 22nd, actual fight night. No, he's going to have to do some type of press conferences. He's going to have to do the weigh-in for Alexander Povetkin. He's going to have to do media workouts for Alexander Povetkin, the fight week. There's going to be cameras in his face. And guess what those cameras and those journalists and those reporters are going to say? You think they're going to ask about, their sole questions are going to be about Alexander Povetkin? Absolutely not. The Deontay Wilder saga is going to rear its head, and Anthony Joshua is going to be forced to answer questions about it. So guess what? Now they want to go and do damage control. They want to go around and do damage control and try to run around and blame it on Deontay Wilder once again. Just like he's saying in this, maybe Deontay Wilder stopped throwing a hissy fit and sign his part of the contract for April 13th. This is July, people. So you have August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, and then April. We're talking about 9 months. There's only 12 months in a year. Right? A woman is only pregnant for 9 to 10 months. So you're talking about a whole pregnancy could go by before this fight takes place? And Deontay Wilder is supposed to sign the contract? Give me a break, people. Just think about that. Let's use our brains, okay? Let's use our brains. A woman could get pregnant today and have a baby before the fight comes to fruition. But Deontay Wilder is supposed to sign right now. Do you know what could change between now and April 13th, people? Deontay Wilder could have 3 fights in that span before the fight with Anthony Joshua. If he was to fight every 3 months, he could have 3 fights in that span. If Deontay Wilder is to fight in August, he could have a fight in November, and then he could have a fight in February or March. He could have 3 fights if he wanted to fight every 3 months. He could fight in September, he could fight in December, and then he'd be able to fight in March. Right? So you think that you would think that people would actually use their common sense and say, why would this dude sign a contract to fight a fighter with the whole almost a whole year, with almost a whole year to spare? Come on, people. And now Anthony Joshua wants to come to the States and show face and prove that this is not a PR stunt and that he wasn't playing games and they wasn't making up excuses. Really? He says, I want to make sure that they don't think that we're bluffing for some bizarre reason or we don't want the fight. Is he serious? At this point in time, Anthony Joshua can't be taken serious. Anthony Joshua needs some sort of help. Because if Anthony Joshua actually believes the stuff that comes out his mouth, and he's that naive that he believes anything that Eddie Hearn is telling him, that he actually believes that they think they're bluffing for some bizarre reason, you got to be kidding me at this point. You have to be kidding me at this point. This is all a joke now. And at this point in time, I believe that Deontay Wilder should just move on from this whole situation. I believe that Deontay Wilder should just move on from this entire situation at this point in time. I think that he should just focus on becoming 51-0, breaking the record, and that be that. And at the end of that 51-0, if Anthony Joshua fight decides to make his way to the surface, then you take it then. But at this point in time, I think Deontay Wilder should just move on. Because the games, the nonsense, the lies, the contradictions, and the delusion of Anthony Joshua is real apparent at this point in time. I cannot believe this guy says that he wants to come over here and sign the contract. Now he's saying, let's sign the contract. Why didn't you just say, let's sign the contract on the 25th? Because people love to say that why Deontay Wilder didn't just sign the contract, whether it be blind contract or not. He should have just took it. He should have just signed. Well, why didn't now Anthony Joshua saying, well, I'm just going to sign it now? Why would you decide to just sign it right now? Why didn't you decide to sign it on the 25th? Unbelievable. Well, that's all I got for y'all, man, on this topic. Y'all already know what it is, man. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is, man. Shouts out to the whole LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue. That's all I got for y'all. Drop a comment in the comment section. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this channel. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
The Blue Blood Sport TV.